Good evening, everybody. It is about 10:30 Saskatchewan time, Saturday, February the 26th. We've got just a couple things to go over tonight. The first thing is messages. Unfortunately, I have not been able to give a heartfelt, well-worded response to the people who've been deserving it because I've had to sift through literally hundreds of messages of nonsense. So to the people who've been getting short responses, even though you've sent me some really nice stories or words of encouragement, I'm sorry I don't have the time to get back to you as nicely as I would because I have so many messages I have to go through. I sat down for about an hour and a half, 2 hours today, and went through an average of 5 messages per minute, and I've got about 300 left to go. That's how many messages we've been getting, and most of it is crap. So I'm sorry to the people who haven't gotten a good word back from me. I'm doing my best. Hopefully we can change our format and make things work better. If you want to send me a message, you are more than welcome to do so. However, I'd like you to consider a few things before you do. If your message contains a link to a video, and the video is more than 12 hours old, don't send that to me. I've probably already seen it. And having 1,000 people send me the same video link that I've seen already is not helpful, and it makes me grumpy. If you are sending me a petition that you want me to sign or you want me to spread around and share to everybody, I will not be doing that. I am not sharing those kinds of things on my platform because too much content takes away from what we're actually trying to do here, and it gets our good stuff lost in amongst all the nonsense. So do not send me links to petitions. I probably already signed them. Sorry, kiddo. Daddy's doing a video. Thank you. Also, do not send me links to live streams, especially if they're really long, like, more than 5 minutes. I don't have time to sift through a live stream unless you've sent me a specific time to go to get a certain piece of information as verification for something I've said. I don't have time to follow 2 or 3 or 20-minute, 2 or 3 hour long live streams. I simply can't do it. Do not send me any videos about any of the organizers. It's not that I don't care, but they're well publicized in other places and they are irrelevant to what I'm wanting to do. Do not ask me about them and do not send me information on them. I do not care. Thank you. Also, if you want to ask me to share your fundraiser for some unrelated topic because we're a farming platform, I will not be doing that. I do not share very much content on this platform for a very good reason. If you have some grand scheme and you want me to coordinate the operation of all the trucks in Canada or all the people in Canada sit down to do things or to write certain letters, I will not be doing that. I do not organize and orchestrate things. I simply try to report facts of what has happened or what will be happening. I will not be organizing any of your grand schemes. I do not have magical powers to talk to everybody in the world to organize things. Please don't ask me to do that. If your message has something to do with like, here's some factual information I found that is quite unlikely that you heard of, here's information, that would be great. If you want to send me encouragement or how the convoy or the protests have affected you in a positive or negative way, that would be great. If you have something that is helpful or you actually have a legitimate question, we are not going to get into deep biblical theology. That's not going to happen. We will be covering some farming stuff. But if you have a quick question, feel free to send that to me. But I don't have time to engage in long, drawn-out arguments. Moving on to the actual content that I'd like to get to now. We still have boots on the ground in Ottawa, and so there were a bunch of trucks impounded last week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday specifically. Those vehicles now being given back as a 7-day time period has elapsed. The Emergency Act has been revoked, so now they can't just sell and crush those vehicles like they wanted to. So they're being given back. Unfortunately, people have to pay money to get them back to pay for the towing fees, which is unfortunate. The vehicles, of course, were damaged, windows broken, contents strewn about, vehicles left running, so they ran out of fuel, etc., all kinds of nastiness, which is really, really unfortunate. This is being well publicized in various platforms across the world because, of course, people are taking videos and spreading it around, so I shan't go into details. But people are getting their vehicles back. About half of them were retrieved from the yard today, which is wonderful. Local towing companies are being arses and will not come and tow out of that yard because related to the protests and they don't want to be there. So local towing companies, not so good for you. What else do we have here? There was a small turnout at the Hill for 2 separate protests today, or 2 separate gatherings, I should say, today. The first one apparently wasn't very many people at, and then there was one a lot more at the later one, but we had a person who was there talking to people, and every single province and territory was represented today. So that's really cool, even though there's only a small amount of people who are up at the Hill. There are large gatherings of vehicles and people around the city of Ottawa who are rejuvenated and regrouping for future activities. There are more vehicles coming in all the time. They're going to be much higher organized and much more prepared, so we shall see what they do in the future. There is a activity happening across Canada which everybody can participate in with no risk, or very, very, very little risk, I should say. There is a proposition for a human chain from coast to coast on March the 5th. I'll have more details now as we get closer, but some quick math. The Trans-Canada Highway is about 7,800 kilometers from tip to tip, if my research was correct. I work in miles, so I convert that to miles and divide that by about a 5-foot wingspan per person, and I get roughly 5.2 million people to touch hand in hand from one side of the country to the other. So that's doable. So please come out for that when that happens. If you can, I'll have more information on that soon. But anyways, it is Saturday night. Tomorrow is Sunday. We on the farm do not work on Sundays, so unless something big and pressing happens in Ottawa, you will not hear from me until Monday. Please let me know if this video format works better. This is the first video with the new camera. So please let me know if this works better or not. I will be in touch with you guys on Monday. Again, I'm going to try and get through as many messages as I can, but I have a couple hundred yet to get through. I have a child who hasn't seen me in 4.5 weeks. I have a house that hasn't seen me in 4.5 weeks, and I'm 4.5 weeks behind on my farm work. So I have a lot of catching up to do, and I don't have time to sit in front of my computer and take care of messages all day. I'm sorry. Anyways, I will see you guys later. I am going to bed because that's where I really should be. Good night.